Namaskar. Let's learn ABCD today. In this video, I am going to talk about the soil profile. In the first video, I have covered the some introductory part. Then in the second video, I have covered the rocks and minerals. And the third video, I have covered the withering and soil formation process. And this is the lecture 4. And I am going to talk about the soil profile. So what do you mean by soil profile is, this is the made up of some horizons, okay, and which determines the characteristics and some properties of a soil. That's why it's called as the soil profile. Like your profile, you mention from where you have done BSc, from where you have done MSc, where do you live, what is your permanent address. You create your own profile. It is the same thing happening with the soil. It is showing some characteristics. That's why this is told as the soil profile. So in the first video, I have mentioned that the soil is made up of solam, okay, and solam means the floor, and this is basically a 3D structure, means three-dimensional structure having length, width and depth. So what actually solam means is the A and B horizon actually in together told as the solam. So suppose this is a three-dimensional structure and I have done this section. This will be the horizontal section and this section will be the vertical section. So if you do the vertical section of a soil, you will get to see the different layers. We will see that in the first layer the colors of the soil is different. Just below that the colors and textures are different, and below that layer there is a change in the color. So in this way you will find four major horizons, four major layer, and those are called as the horizons, and those horizons are named as the O, A, B, C, and R is one not directly correlated with this soil profile, but I will discuss about it. Okay, so first of all, as I have told that the soil is made up of solam. So basically A and B are collectively called as the solam. Okay, and another term I have used as the regolith. I have told that the rock undergoes the withering and forms the regolith, and under this regolith some soil forming factor works, and because of that soil forming factor the soil is generated, which is the true soil. Okay, I have mentioned all this in the first lecture, so you can watch that. So what is actually the regolith is? The A, B and C, these three horizon made the regolith. Okay, so if you give the definition, you go for this, like the rock undergoes withering, form the regolith, and on which the soil forming factor works and form the true soil. And in case of soil profile, you will write that regolith is nothing but the A plus B plus C, and the solam is just A plus B. So this is the concept. Okay, so now I will talk about the some brief of the individual soil horizon. So first I will go with the soil horizon O. From the name O, we know that it is nothing but the organic layer. The soil which is in your balcony lacks this layer because of the lack of the organic material. You will find this layer more prominent in the forest soil, or having the land filled with the plants. Also you can find this layer in the virgin soil. Virgin soil means the soil which is never cultivated, which is not arable. Okay, so in that layer you can see also the organic layer, and this A layer just beneath that organic layer, and this A layer has the minerals. So in some question they ask that which layer floats on the mineral layer of the soil, and your answer will be organic layer, O layer. because it is just floating on the A layer, which has the mineral layer, because O layer does not have any mineral, just organic matter. So now we'll talk about the A layer now. So A layer, basically the A layer actually called as the alluvial. Now what is the alluvial? In the previous video I have mentioned that what is the alluviation. Alluviation means the washing out of minerals. Now what do you mean by washing out of minerals? Washing out means nothing but the leaching, or you can see the mobilization. Okay, now this layer, A layer, is actually divided into three portions called as the A1 layer, then the A2 layer, and third one is the AB layer. Okay, now in the A1 layer, there you can find the organic matter, because it is just beneath the organic layer, O layer, so you can only find organic matter in the A1 layer. But in the A2 layer, you can see there is the maximum chance of the alluviation. So most of the alluviation takes place in the A2 layer. That's why this name is given as the alluvial layer. Okay, and in the AB layer, this is nothing but the transition between the A layer and B layer. Okay, so this is the brief about the A layer. And remember that A layer is the starting of the mineral. So now we will discuss some important point regarding the B layer, because B layer is also an important, and B layer is called as the alluvial layer or alluvial horizon. Why this is termed as the alluvial? Because it is a just opposite of the alluvial. Now what happens in alluvial? Their washing in happens. What is the meaning of washing in of minerals? This is just opposite of the washing out. So here accumulation of minerals happens. Now when we are talking about the minerals, mainly the accumulation of iron and aluminium oxide are happening, and in case of A2 layer, there is the mainly the leaching of the iron and aluminium oxide are happening. So B layer is also called as the subsoil. You have heard this point, that the subsoil, and this is the called as actually the B layer. And in subsoil you cannot do tillage of operation. You cannot do the tillage operation in subsoil. So again, this layer is actually divided into three parts, just like A layer. This is now the B1 and the B2 and the B3. So as I have told that in case of A layer, in A2 layer there is the showing the maximum alluviation, and here just same as the A layer, in case of B2 layer you can see the maximum alluviation. That is maximum accumulation of minerals are happening in B2 layer. Okay, and in B3 layer you can also see the accumulation of calcium carbonate, calcium sulfate, and other minerals and other salts. You can also see the accumulation of these salts. Okay, so that's the important point regarding the B layer. Just remember this important point, and this is will be the enough for your any exam, and the question is coming from these important points only. Now we are going to talk about the C layer. Okay, now from the C layer there is actually the unconsolidated parent material. In C layer there is the presence of unconsolidated parent material. In the previous video I have mentioned that the parent material is actually the passive factor of the soil formation, and this is actually divided into the consolidated material and unconsolidated material. In consolidated material, examples are the igneous rock, metamorphic rock, thus like that. And in unconsolidated parent material, there is the presence of the alluvial, colluvial. So this sea layer is filled with this unconsolidated parent material, and here you can see the accumulation of the magnesium and calcium carbide, magnesium and magnesium carbonate, and some other salts. Okay, so that's the important point regarding the sea layer. There's nothing to read more about the sea layer. Just remember that this is the filled with the unconsolidated parent material. So this is the directly related with the soil profile. Now one important is that the R layer. What is the R layer? R layer is actually told as the bedrock. What is actually bedrock is because upon this layer, this all three layer A to C, all four layer actually stands over this bedrock. Now what is the bedrock? You can see from here that this is a thick structure, a hard structure. That means this could be a rock, and yes, that is actually rock. But question is that which type of rock is actually present in R layer. So basically, as we know that rock undergoing the weathering on the rock and form the regolith, and from the regolith the soil is actually formed, and soil form means the four layer O, A, B, C are formed. So suppose this soil actually formed from rock A1. Suppose this is the name I have given, rock A1. So in the bedrock we can see the presence of A1 rock, or you can see also the other rock rather than this A1. Okay, so that is the concept behind this R layer, is that in the R layer you can see the accumulation of rock which actually formed this soil, form this upper horizon, or you can see other than that rock also. Okay, so that's the important point regarding this R layer. You have to remember just this point, that the bedrock. Just remember this bedrock over which these four horizons actually stands, and this is filled up with rock, which could be the rock from which this A, B, C layer formed, or could be different rock. Okay, so if you have any question, you can ask in the comment box. I will try to answer them. Okay, never skip any lecture, because we are giving this in a free version, and these are enough for your any exam. Basically the main IBPS exam, this is important. You can see this previous 3 lecture, and please do subscribe our channel, and please share this video with your friends, so that we can reach more and we can provide more quality content freely. Thanks for watching. Thank you.